Shane Koyczan, once again. I have not seen him collaborate with another artist before. This seems to be a violinist based on the thumbnail. I assume that's who Hannah Epperson is. If that's not Hannah Epperson, my bad. Let's see what he's got.
Remember how we forgot? Remember how no one ever really died in the wars we fought? Because each gunshot came from our fingertips, and we never really kept them loaded just in case. Because each enemy was a friend, and none of it was about oil, religion, or land. It was all just pretend. Remember how we used to bend reality like we were circus strongmen? Like our imaginations were in shape then? Like we were all ninjas trained in the deadly art of did not? Like, I totally got you! Did not. Remember how we forgot? Remember how our parents told us never to look directly into the sun, and how we were their sons, so we never looked directly into the mirror in fear that we would go blind? Remember how we used to find any old reason just to call someone we were crushing on? That we just pawn off our sense of embarrassment, buy a chunk of courage that would last just long enough it would have us asking them about math and stuff. And how stuff was just stuff, like I heard you getting braces. And how braces somehow were and still are kinda hot.
Low-key, I ain't even gonna lie. I got a thing for braces. I know that sounds weird to you. Maybe it doesn't. Is that just me? I legit got a thing for like braces. Dang. I don't know. There's something about it. Anyway, I love the music that's playing behind him. Hannah's doing an incredible job. I love how she's adding new aspects to the song and looping it. You know what I'm saying? So the song just keeps escalating and escalating as the poem continues. Now, one thing I will say is I've caught on to Shane's strategy of how he constructs poems. He'll start with it being real light and funny. It'll start to shift at some point, the tone. will start to get more serious and more serious. But at the start of his poems, you're typically giggling or you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I definitely relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And then it just starts hitting harder and harder. And at some point, you're like, yo, I definitely relate to that. You feel me? I already see it coming. I see it coming.
Yeah. Remember how we forgot? Remember how we all caught mono? And our folks would go, ooh, the kissing disease. And our first steps into gangsterhood had us saying, mother please. Even though we'd never really kissed anyone. Even though we never did half the things we said we'd done. We just spun yarns like Rumpelstiltskin spun gold. We told ghost stories, never realizing one day ourselves become ghosts, haunting the hallways of schools, poltergeists breaking all the rules of silence in the library. But we had no chains to rattle, no voice to battle the fact that we had no vocal cords. We had only fingernails on chalkboards, and it would scream, shout, and yell, trying to tell ourselves what experience can teach us, what no teacher taught. Remember how we forgot? Once upon a time, we were young. Our dreams hung like apples, waiting to be picked and peeled, and hope was something needed to be reeled in, so you'd fill the always empty big fish bin of the one that got away and proudly say that this time, impossible is not an option, because success is so akin to effort and opportunity that you'd be related. So we took chances, we figure skated on thin ice, believed that each slice of life was served with something sweet on the side, and failure was never nearly as important as the fact that we tried. That in the war against...
Yo, I don't know which is better, the poem or the song that's complimenting it. Because let me tell you, the moment he made that shift into the whole talk about ghosts, like playing ghosts, not realizing that we would one day become them, right? You could tell like there was a shift in how the violin was played. Like it kind of became more eerie in sound. And even when he's talked about not having vocal cords, but scratching your nails on the chalkboard, he said something along those lines. You notice the pitch of the violin went high, almost like the scratching of nails on a chalkboard. I was like, yo! And you can tell she's listening intently to what he's saying and playing it accordingly, G. Nah! Oh! Okay, sorry. I'm just getting chills, y'all. Okay, let's keep going.
That in the war against frailty and limitation, we supplied the determination it takes to make ideas and goals the parents of possibility. And we believe ourselves to be members of this family. Not just one branch on one tree, but a forest whose roots make up a dynasty. So when I call you sis or bro, it's not lightly. And when I ask you to remember, it's because the future what it used to be.
Go off. Yeah. That was one of the most beautiful violin solos I've ever heard. The way he turned to her like, all right, do your thing. Do your thing. Oh, man. Woo! I'm loving this.
So remember now, pay tribute to every sacrifice laid upon the altar of somehow, for all the times somehow we overcame, somehow we pushed on, somehow we've gone the distance, and in going there we possess the freedom to map the uncharted lands of any and everywhere. We are unbound, 6 feet above the underground, where we will all one day rest. So until then, test the limits, test the boundaries and borders, as if the headquarters of potential lay just beyond the world's edge. Let the belief that hope belongs to us all be the pledge you take to make the unachievable as inconceivable as the false fact that we never hear. We were here, and our memories are as dear to us as every slow motion moment or held breath. So remember every instant before death, every first kiss, first dance, near miss, last chance, yes, no, maybe so. Let us go the distance once more. Let us remember all the moments that were and were not. Like the point is something we can get, and what we can get is what we got. Because all we have, the times between the moments we connect each dot. So live and remember. Burn like an ember capable of starting fires. Like each moment inspires the next. Like memories of the context we put ourselves in, so that life becomes the next of kin we need to notify in case of a big bang or extinction level event. Let now be our advent. Let us live like we meant it. Let us burn like we mean it. Because this world doesn't give a shit if we end in a train wreck or a car crash. If our story ends with a dot or a dash, we were dust or ash. Because all we were is all we'll be, and all we are is the in-between of so far so good. So forget every would, could, or should not. Forget remembering how we forgot.
I ain't finna lie to y'all. This man is one of the craziest lyricists I've ever heard. Like, the way he's just stacking rhymes over and over and over and over and over. Like, I mean, he's just layering them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Eminem levels of, like, condensing rhyme. Just packing it into every line. Ooh, he does it by design. I ain't got no more rhymes. Ooh, bars. I still rhyme. See, check me out. Check me out. This man's something else. He's not human. I've been saying he built different. I've been saying it.
Give a shit if we end in a train wreck or a car crash. If our story ends with a dot or a dash, we were dust or ash. Because all we were is all we'll be, and all we are is the in-between of so far so good. So forget every would, could, or should not. Forget remembering how we forgot. Live like a plot twist exists now and in memory, because we burn bright. Our light leaves scars on the sun. Let no one say we will be undone by time's passing. The memories we are amassing will stand as testament that somehow we bent minds around the concept that we see others within ourselves. That self-knowledge can't be found on bookshelves. So who we are has no bearing on how we appear. Look directly into every mirror. Realize our reflection is the first sentence to a story. And our story starts. We were here. Thank you, guys. Epperson.
Wow. Okay. Clearly, you can see I had the time of my life with this. But I hope you enjoyed it as well, genuinely. Just gave me a lot of nostalgia about my upbringing and the fun I had as a kid. Yeah. I was one of those few kids who grew up not wanting to actually grow up. I had a lot of responsibilities due to my family situation, but my parents did their very best to make sure I still had a childhood in spite of the weight of tasks that I had to be given. You know, they didn't really have a choice. They needed me to help in every way I could, but I still look back at my childhood and have fond memories in spite of all the hardships, you know? So Yeah, it was nice going down memory lane. Anyway, I will catch y'all later. Deuces.